karate, aikido, jiu-jitsu all combined. I would say it's the foundational principles behind all martial arts, whether it's kendo, judo, karate, aikido. It's the principles behind them. So you don't, as I'm learning it now, I know now that I don't have to learn 300 or 500 techniques to get a black belt. I can learn a few principles that work for against pretty much everything. It's unprecedented in my opinion.
Right, and that's the thing is so, it's interesting that people don't have to learn a whole new martial art and start as the very beginning. You know, you can take whatever you know, whatever you've been taught, doesn't matter what it is, and you can make it more streamlined because within the first second you can get behind the attack. So it's a very easy art to learn. It doesn't take long.
So it works for beginners, it works for intermediate, it works for advanced.
Right.
And so if a beginner could like jump the pond and just go straight and not have to spend 10, 20 years mastering their art and the 600 techniques or whatever, they can just learn the principles and be effective. Like my wife, she's never done martial arts and she's month one and already picking it up. She can take my back.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
No, not cool. We created a system that allows you to process kicks and strikes safely. Approximately 1,000 strikes an hour and possibly 300 kicks an hour. This is without you getting hit or kicked. You're moving behind them and you're allowed to continue the movement sequence. It's a unique, and it's all real. In other words, there are no rote drills, there is no pre-planned attacks, pre-planned movements. It's not technique based, it's movement based. There are principles to this movement that we teach you in the very first couple lessons. And that's all you need to know how to do. You just need to know these principles. You don't have to know what to do with them. They work.
Mark, you know, that's so amazing. This is like it's like a systema, Russian martial arts, judo, jiu-jitsu, karate. It's kind of, when I look at it, I almost think, oh, that's system. No, that's aikido. No, that's karate. No, that's tai chi. What is that? Because, and you're actually not beating the tar out of each other at all. Right. That's why my wife loves it. She doesn't have to come home beat up and bruised. And we have some friends in their late 40s that love it because they're not, they don't have to do what they did years ago.
Yeah, well, that's important that you
One gal we have that just started, she was on her karate team for her college and she had no complete aversion. That's the last thing I want to do is go back to that again. And so it took a while to convince her, and the first time she said, this is great.
Yeah.
I can do an art now. I'm 50 years old. I can do an art and I don't have to get injured and I'll get better as I get older.
Well, that's the thing is that this art is an art where, like you said, you don't really get injured because you're always right behind your opponent. It allows you to choose the most efficient movement patterns to do that. So as you train longer and you get older, you actually get better. Now in karate or any of the line point fighting systems, you're gonna lose physical prowess and you're gonna deteriorate. And so eventually, someone younger and stronger and faster is going to be able to beat you.
Yeah, my wife, Mark, the other day, we were just playing and I went and she said, do something now. She's only into it about a month. And I took a swing at her, kind of, you know, medium-sized swing, and she got behind my back. I'm not sure to this day how she got there. She doesn't even know. She was behind me. I don't even know where she is.
Yeah. Well, the reason why you don't know is because one of the big principles of this system of movement is we don't use any kind of abrupt resistance. We use the movement of the person against
You want to demonstrate
themselves.
that? You did it to me the other day. So the resistance would be...
Yeah, this would be a resistance.
Now we got my way against yours.
Right, and now we're face to face, and that's not where I want to be. But if you're moving and I slide right past you, then you know it gives me a much safer
And
position.
you didn't do the...
No,
you're sitting here.
Yeah, we're just sitting here. But at any rate, it allows people that are of different sizes to be able to handle people that are bigger. So
Well, this is how the martial arts really came about, even in Japan. It was smaller man can defeat the bigger man, or the guy unarmed opponent could defeat a samurai, someone with a sword. Right. And this works even against sticks, knives, swords. I've seen it. You want to share?
yeah,
This is cool.
there's no point in creating any kind of system that is limited to weapons of any kind, whether it's sticks, swords, knives, guns. It's all the same thing. Once you're behind the person, those weapons become much, much less effective.
Right. And I've seen that. It's, for those, they can watch the demo video of you using knives. You think you're just playing, but you're not. I mean,
Well, no, actually, in one of the demo videos,
It's a live blade.
yeah, I always, with my black belt students, I always use a live blade because if they can't defend themselves against a real attack with a real weapon, then how safe are they?
Good.
Yeah, I remember when we first started talking and you realized what you were looking at and you said, this is the ancient imperial art. And
This is the stuff you read about in the history books that you can't find anywhere.
right,
You see them doing these movements on a wall, painting, and you're like, what is that? Well, that's this.
that's this, right?
You know, I've looked at this my whole life. I was living in Japan looking for that. In Japan, looking at books like, what is that? What are they doing? Why are they moving these weird ways? Nobody taught me that.
Right. And
So-
so, you know, during that time, if you were caught teaching this, you
How
were
old are you? You
executed.
like 600 years old? I got his secret.
Back in that time, you know, if you were caught teaching these ancient movement patterns, you were executed.
Yeah, once a secret they call it.
That's right, because
The island of Budo, Okinawa, once a
Right.
secret. You were not allowed to teach this
Right.
or learn it. So